All right. Stretching it out.
Here we are.
So, shoot, there's so much going on.
It's the first podcast of November.
God bless. I got to tell you,
Believe that or not.
I was watching football this weekend, and they actually had some Christmas music playing in some of the commercials, and I got to tell you,
That's too early.
I think it's perfect. I got an emotional Woody.
Wow.
I was excited. I love this time of year, and I say it every single year.
And then you cuss it off. You're like,
Oh, that was a little different. I was disgruntled because my kids weren't doing something I wanted them to.
Maybe this year will be different. Well, I'm excited about tonight because we have two very special guests.
We do. It's November 4th, 2025. It's a Dudes Like Us podcast. Mr. Producer Chuck behind the realm there. Dudes Like Us, I am Sean.
I'm Paul.
I am Jeff.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Noe.
And we're here to pump you up. No, we're excited. We've got lots of stuff going on. So I'd like to... why don't you guys just kind of introduce yourselves and why are you here? What obnoxious person contacted you?
We just showed up at your door and you said you had bourbon, so
There you go. And here you go.
Here's two extra
Thank you
waters
so
in case
much.
you guys need them.
No, my name is Victoria Urea. I have my husband here with me, Noe Urea, and we have a business called NVU Brands. And what we do is we help new up-and-coming emerging brands with sales in Texas, brand management, distributing management. So we help them get to that next level when it comes to brand building.
Strictly in the spirit industry.
Yes, anything alcohol related, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
No horse saddles or stirrups or cowboy hats.
Oh,
Excellent.
look at that! Look at us right
So,
there.
yeah, how many brands do you represent?
You guys are so charismatic.
At the time, we have 3 brands, and then within them, they have different types of. So, Coastal Bend Distillery, they have Live Oak Vodka, Lucky Star Gin, and those are the 2 main focuses. And then we also have Horseneck Bourbon. They have the 2 bourbons plus their new 9-year founders and their RTDs. And then our newest partner is Swift Single Malt out of the Hill Country.
Very nice.
So Horseneck, we've had the Horseneck crew on, actually 2 of them.
Yeah.
Had a
we're
blast
very,
with them. It
very
was a good
familiar
time.
with those guys, yeah.
And we went to, that's how we initially met you guys.
Yeah.
And actually, we didn't even know who we were talking to. It was kind of like, we saw the aftermath of some of the buzz and the social media, and I was like, God bless it. They were right there. and I heard Victoria's voice. It's like, who the hell is this chick? Her voice is fantastic. She sounds like you should be doing like radio shows.
Well, that's why we're here. Well, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I wore red today because I did hear the podcast with the lady in red. And I didn't know if that was me or not. No, he goes, listen to this. I go, it could have been it could have been anybody. And then you then it got a little bit
some
more
blushing
detailed.
going on now.
All right.
Yeah. But thank
Nice.
you for the compliments.
She's
I really
calling us out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That was good. That was
So,
good.
If I remember correctly, that's when we were doing that bourbon exchange.
Yes.
Right? Everybody was going back and forth, picking up the gifts and
Yeah.
stealing from each other. And yes, I remember.
And you
now.
were sitting next to me, or standing next to me.
I was. I'm
Yeah.
standing right next to you guys. And I think you're the one that
Yeah, he said he walked over and he was like,
stole all
Sean, I'm so gassy.
No,
I
it
need to
wasn't me.
stand up and walk away. And he was like, I'm going to go stand over that guy. I was wondering what that was all about.
Yes.
The truth comes out.
Yeah.
Now, but it was a fun event. We enjoyed it. It
was.
was great to kind of meet everybody. And regarding Horseneck, I mean, those ready to drink, crushable bourbon whiskey drinks, those are incredible drinks. They brought them on the podcast. We had them. They tasted great, natural fruits, and we got schnookered.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we really did because we did 4 of them and we're passing them around, pouring in our glass, and then after we went through 4 of them, it's
And
just
then
like
2
blah, blah,
bourbons.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, then we had 2 bourbons on top of that.
Yeah, and
yeah.
they got
all
to
in
sample
one
the
sitting.
Infinity.
Yeah.
Pardon?
No, I said all in one sitting. Y'all did all.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they
Yes.
did a full podcast the first half. And the second half, of course, is a little bit different. We're a little less inhibited, you know.
Seasoned. It's called seasoned.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you say Horseneck has a new one out, a 9-year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. Did you sign up for it?
They have 690 bottles of the 9-year Founders Reserve.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about the portfolio of services that you offer to like the people you partner with, is that like a life cycle thing where you kind of start with them and then you take them all the way through? Or do you guys they can cherry pick what services you guys kind of help them with, or how's that work?
Yeah, it kind of varies per brand. When we started this, because our experience comes from being behind the bar to working for distributors, working for national brands, global brands. And so what we did a couple of years ago is turned it into a business.
Yeah.
And so having that kind of experience, you can cater white glove service to the particular brand.
I apologize. Let's back up just a little bit more.
Sure.
Because you were in the business. So like when you were what, 18, 19, 20-ish?
18?
Right, 18.
18.
Oh no!
So
Wait a minute. 17.
You were 17.
Yeah, I was 17 when I jumped in. But so you started really early, started bartending. And how did you guys meet in that business?
I'll let you tell the story.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Because I always tell it.
She was the lady in red, wasn't she?
It was a black dress. That's all I was saying.
Well, I met him when I was 18 years old, I believe.
Yes.
I was a senior in high school, and at the time I worked at Happy Hooters. I worked at Hooters.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, probably
Nice.
before I had my
So
Hooters.
you were wearing
but,
orange, not black.
well, no, that's not the first time he saw me.
Oh.
So I had a boyfriend, and Noe had a girlfriend at the time. And just like with my charming self and all my friends, we always got into bars as 21, even though we weren't.
course.
I don't know what it was, but we just did.
Yeah.
And we went to
I know how that
the
works.
bar that Noe happens to be bartending at. And he had instructed the door guy to always give all the pretty girls a 21 and up band. So right away, we already got the hookup.
Yes.
So when I
Smart.
went, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was
That's
the
good for
bartender
business.
/ manager
I don't
/
think you get
approval.
in trouble for that now. I think they're not going to fire you.
No.
It's definitely good for business, for
Just
sure.
watching all my words right now.
yeah.
So I happened to go in with my boyfriend and his friends and everything, and I got my 21 band, and I thought it was really cool. So I went down to get a drink, and who was my bartender but Noe? And he said, "Well, you're very beautiful. The drinks are on the house." And I was so excited, and I went up, and I'm like, "I got free drinks." Of course, I had a jealous boyfriend at the time. So he goes down, he goes, "Who brought my girlfriend drinks?" And he's like, "Well, you shouldn't let a pretty girl go down and get her own drinks." And they get to exchange words, and I was so embarrassed, and then we just left, right? Well, the next day on my shift, guess who happens to be walking into Hooters that day? And so
Just by chance.
Had no idea. We didn't
We
get a
didn't know-
chance
we
to
didn't meet. We
exchange
didn't know each other.
Where
Oh,
she
really?
worked.
Okay.
Had no idea.
It was just, I guess, fate. And it was him and his friend. So they walk in. I go, "I don't know if you remember me from last night, but I apologize for the way that behavior. Come sit. I'll buy you guys some pitchers of beer. Just come sit in my section." And actually, during that whole exchange, his friend is the one that asked me for my number, and I gave his friend my number. And
Jeez.
I was shy.
yes, you were shy. But then what did I tell my girlfriends? We have a hookup at this bar. So we would go, and I would take all my friends all the time to go see him at the bar. And then it just kind of led into things where we started talking. We actually became best friends before actually getting together.
For about
Very
over a
nice.
year.
Yeah, for over a year. And
Before we
then,
did anything,
we.
And is that while you had your significant others?
Yes.
Ish? There was a little transition?
Yeah, and I know that sounds really terrible, but
I don't think so.
We weren't. My ex and then his ex, we were not compatible. I mean, we're all young, right? We don't.
Yeah.
I always say you got to kiss
When
a
you're
lot
young,
of.
you got to figure it out.
Yeah, you do, and I always say you got to kiss a lot of toads before you find your prince. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go.
So it kind of worked out that
Jesus.
way, and we became friends. And then one day, I happened to sleep over, just to sleep over, I swear. And he,
They all say.
We believe you.
Yes.
I'm sure there was some sleep during that time. But and then before he left, he put the key on my key ring and said, "Here's a spare key." And I never left after that.
Well, I was trying to be
Wow.
cool about it. So she was upstairs and she immediately saw it. She's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Well, you're going to need it."
Very nice.
It's confident.
All right, so let me recap. So you used him for free alcohol for a year,
Yep.
Absolutely.
and then she needed a place to stay, and you said, "All right, stay here forever."
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
And
It's
here we
working
are,
out.
is that did I get that right?
24 years later.
That's awesome. That's a great story.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are, ultimately, did you guys end up working at the same place?
No, go ahead.
we didn't. I mean, we've always been in the alcohol industry, and in the alcohol industry, it's really faux pas. You're not supposed to work with a significant other or your spouse, right? Well, one, you're in the alcohol industry, and others, there could be a lot of jealousy and all of that. But when I was bartending, I mean, Noe would come and hang out with my bar, and it was so funny because you have guys and they come and they flirt and they say stuff. And then, of course, Noe's like, yeah, I bet I can take her home. And they're like, no, you can't, whatever, we've been trying. And they're like, no, watch. And then he would do it. And then he, like,
nice.
I'd be like, yeah, here's my number. Like, let's, like meet up later. So we played, like, a little joke with it. But,
dude, you could have made some money.
I know.
Yeah.
So I bet you $100 I'll get her phone number right now.
Totally. Then you get your legs broken, but whatever.
But Noe and I grew up in the industry, so we don't really have that jealous bone when it comes to it. I mean, we both know that we're both professional in it, so it's like it's a thing. I mean, if we have to go to different events, we're totally fine with it, and we trust each other.
Yeah.
So what was the catalyst? What was the spark? You guys are both in the industry, and then all of a sudden you're like, you see these vendors that are coming in, and they're dropping off Miller Lite products along with all these swag, and you're kind of like, man, I can do that. Is that kind of the spirit of what happened?
It's funny, when I was a waiter, I remember seeing our liquor guy come in, and he would come in and he was doing that. He was giving away shirts, or he was talking to other people. And I told my buddy, dude, I could totally do that. I want to do that. And like 2 years later, I was doing that. So it was just, I didn't realize that was actually a job. And that was, you got paid to go out and talk about liquor. And then it kind of just evolved and grew into something great.
And then gained some credibility and a reputation for knowing the industry. And then suddenly people are reaching out to you? Or did you kind of hit up some distillery saying, I can help you?
So when my career started, I started in the warehouse. I actually didn't start in sales. I started in merchandising. So I was in the warehouse stocking trucks, stocking shelves, doing all that. And then I got a promotion, and then I worked in the sales on the wine and the liquor side for 2 or 3 years. So I worked for RNDC, the distributor, for 12 years.
Nice.
So in those 12 years, I did 6 promotions. So doing several jobs along the way got me a great experience.
Yeah, for sure.
So
end to end.
Yeah, but then from there, I moved to San Antonio. We lived apart for a year, and I worked for RNDC up there, but I worked for Pernod Ricard, Absolute, Malibu, Jameson, Chivas, and got to get that great experience. So then after 12 years, they called me into the room and said, thank you for your 12 years of service. We're eliminating your job. You have 60 days to find a new opportunity.
I've been there.
Good Lord.
So by the time I left the parking lot that day, I had 3 interviews. Long story short, and then 2 days later, I'm on a flight to Houston for an interview, and I'm working for Stoli Vodka, running Houston. I had to convince her we're moving to Houston. That wasn't easy. And then from there, it grew. But from Houston, 4.5 years of working for that company to running that, and then the state. So it was kind of an evolution more than anything else.
So just losing that job was huge.
Yeah, it was. I probably would have stayed with that company.
Exactly.
That's what happens. You get stuck in the rat race, and you're thinking there's that carrot at the end of the light at the end of the tunnel, while they dangle the carrot of success in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time experiencing I'm a number. I'm actually just part of this.
Correct.
I was
for sure.
I was the guy who was. I'm a company guy. I'm a corporate guy. I'm a structured guy. That is me. Then you realize next, and then you kind of have to reimagine, think differently.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get back into the rat race. I was done with it last March. I got laid off, so I know how that feels, and I haven't gone back to the corporate world. So I'm done with the rat race.
Yeah.
And
I've been laid off 5 times, and I'm still in the rat race. That's exciting. Wow.
I should have been laid off hundreds of times. But for some reason, they keep me around.
He still survives.
I'm part of they keep me. We got to have one freaking retarded loser. So we're going to make the DEI quota.
There you go.
That's why you survived this round.
That's why they keep you around.
Yeah, well,
Sean checks all these boxes.
Yeah.
He's covered.
Let's just keep him here.
Wow.
Isn't he gay?
Stop.
I am happy. I am.
Yeah, you can be anything they want you to be.
So, and then so you're at that job, and you guys are still together. And what were you doing on that time?
Yeah, so I wanted to be a vet. I'm supposed to be helping animals right now. I still love animals, but the reason why we were apart is because I was finishing my bachelor's degree in biomedical science, so all my prerequisites to go to veterinary school. And
where was this at?
Corpus Christi, A&M Corpus Christi.
Nice.
So then it came time. Okay, let's start applying and doing all this other stuff. But because I was trying to finish so fast, I was doing like 18, 20 hours per semester. So it was really hard. And I don't know if you ever done biomedical science, but the labs and the just all that kind of stuff was tiring. So then I said, I'm going to take a little break. And then somebody found out that I took a little break, and a winery in Texas picked me up and asked me, hey, while you're in your transition phase, do you want to come and sell some wine? I was like, okay, yeah. And, let's do that. And then I started that, and I never left the alcohol industry. I left it for a little while. I left it for 3 years. I still have the business that I started at when I left, but I came back into the industry. So then I did the wine, and then he's like, we're moving to Houston. And I'm like, oh. However, I didn't know Houston then. I love Houston now. It's a lot of variety, and it's kind of pulling me away. This place a little bit is kind of pulling me away, that I might come and check it out over here. But so then I worked.
Houston's kind of a butthole.
Wow.
I mean, it kind
Certain
of is.
areas.
I mean, it's the armpit of Texas for a
certain
reason.
areas.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yes.
there's good and bad areas of every
I didn't mean to slam that, but
it's the truth. And I get a little frustrated because there are a lot of places where it should not be as trashy as it should be, and
Right.
they should
Yeah.
clean it up. And it really is sad because it's a beautiful city, and there's a lot of great business people
Well,
there.
It's a very large city. It's significantly
huge.
larger
Massive.
than
Yeah.
Dallas, Fort Worth. So
I mean, just
they have a lot of
physically,
specs, because I think I visited all of them looking
What's
for
the
that
headquarters
double.
over there?
Yeah, well, they had the double barrel Spanish oak I was looking for. I mean, like
Yeah.
every single one of them.
But
I did enjoy going down to Houston, though.
yeah, I mean,
so
no,
it's not horrible.
And we'll go back to that, but let me finish this really quick. So then I worked for Republic. So I was working for there in Houston, and then I don't think I've ever been a corporate person. I've tried very hard, and I'm one of those people that will climb up the ladder just naturally of
you're driven, ambition, you're good with people.
Very much
that
so.
happens naturally.
Very
Yeah.
much so, but I just didn't feel it. I was always saying, there's something more. And I would get great offers, and I left to go. I got taken away with Dulce Vida tequila.
You were poached.
I was poached,
Yes.
and
Oh,
I said,
wow.
yeah, let's do that. Let's get that experience. And then I was like, I don't understand. I would get, and I'm not trying to brag about myself, but they would give me multiple raises within that same year. I mean, and I'm still really great friends with the owners and everything like that. But I was like, what is it? What is it? Why am I not satisfied? And I do a lot of self-development. And again, I like to study entrepreneurs and business. And I'm like, I think that's where I want to go. I'm not fitting in. I don't feel right here. All the great opportunities, I learned a lot of skill there, but I was like, it's just I don't feel right. So then I went to one Women in Business conference in Missouri. After that, I was like, I'm done. I found another opportunity in the finance world and the insurance world. I said, I'm leaving once I get my license. Started a team. I still have that going. And then, that taught me so many skills beyond belief on just looking at things not as a W-2 or employee.
Right.
Looking things in more on the entrepreneurial side,
Nice.
the driven, the everything. So then when the opportunity or situation arose where Noe's like, what do you think we should do? I was like, you're not going to go work for anybody else. Let's fucking do this. Let's start NVU brands. We can do it. So that's what we've been doing. And we're going on over 2 years now with it. So, and I love it. I mean, I love doing that. You either know that you are or you don't know, or you're in that transition of trying to figure it out. But I always tell people, like, if you're in that transition of like, I don't know whether I stay in the W-2 world and the employee world, or do you go in the entrepreneurship, you got to look at it in this two ways. Like there's two Victorias, right? One of it, if I go in the W-2 employee world, I probably could move up the ladder. I have a consistent salary.
Yep.
I get holidays off. I get weekends off. There's some benefits, there's security. I mean, there's a lot of things to it. Now, of course, you have like, I have to go to work on Monday or whatever. And then you have the entrepreneur world where it's like anxiety all the time. You have to, everything rises and falls with you. You have to figure out where cash flow is going to come from. You're always having to pivot. There's a lot of stress in that. Everybody thinks it's glamorous.
And you work twice as much.
You work twice as much.
do.
This
Or
whole
more.
be your own boss and make your own hours is completely bullshit because you have no hours. It's like 24/7 all the day.
Yep.
But if you keep, and I kept saying, okay, which one should I do? And if I kept leaning towards the entrepreneurship, like, I love it. I can't go back. That's when boom, that's the road you're meant to be. So When I started to figure that out, I was like, I can't ever go back to it. I mean, there's some times where I'm like, man, should we just go back and just get a good, but it's hard for me to ever go back once you start it.
So you're loving it. Sounds like you're loving it. Are you both like 100% in all the time, or
1,000%? This is it. This is gonna happen.
Excellent.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
We're coming up on 2 years, and when we first came, so before we started this company, I was with another broker, and I ran 3 states for him: Texas, Florida, and California. That's where I learned this side of the business, the broker work, having multiple brands and being a part of multiple brands. And I liked it, and I thought that there was a certain way to do about it, but there was something that was missing from it. And so when I left there, that's when we made the decision to actually start NVU brands. And so the first thing we did was we did it the way we did it before, have a lot of brands. We went up to 9, almost 10. I think we had 10 brands at one point. Hated it because your revenue is great, but you're not doing an actually good job for these brands.
You're spread too thin.
You are. And then it was just us. There's no other employees. There's 0 in the state of Texas.
So let's narrow this down for the ignorant folks like me. What are you doing for like Horseneck? Like you met the owners, you meet them and you're like, hey, this is what I can offer. What are you doing? I mean, you're doing all the social media? I mean, are you setting up opportunities for podcasts, all of the above?
Yeah, let me take a step back. And it's not just for Horseneck. So Noe, how many brands are starting every year?
317 new brands come into Texas.
And a lot of those new brands have never been in the industry.
Right.
So what happens is, and it's a great idea. And again, I'm a huge advocate for entrepreneurs. If you have a dream, if you have something and you want to start it, go for it. I'm going to be your number one, I'm going to applaud you for that. But what happens is they're like, oh shit, this is not as easy as just making a brand or creating a product. So in Texas, we have the 4-tier system. And there's a lot of steps to get your product from here to the retail store, to the bar, to the restaurants. And a lot of the new brands that come out, they don't know that process. We have to work with a distributor. Then you have to work, if you're trying to get into bars and restaurants, a Class B, like a Specs, a Twins, a Goody, whatever Class Bs there are, here. And so there's a lot of navigating. There's also a lot, because we worked with distributors, we can speak that lingo. And that lingo to where we know what to ask, the right questions. We also know, hey, the pricing, because Noe and I are out so much and we see a lot of people all across Texas, all different buyers. We know what they're looking for. And sometimes what happens is, because again, if somebody's very new to the industry, they don't have the pulse of the market. They don't know, they're not out there as much. That's why they hire us. So we can get not only the feedback, see what people are wanting, come back, let's pivot, let's do this, but also manage the brand and guide them into being like, okay, well, here's a good plan for how we should approach the market, what we should do. It's, a little bit of marketing, but a lot of sales. And of course, once we have that foundation in place, then it's easier for us to go and be like, okay, here's what we have for the retailer. The problem with the industry right now is there's a lot of brands, and you guys see this in the liquor stores.
Mm-hmm. It's getting saturated.
There is saturation right now.
It's very saturated. So X, Y, and Z brand, they go in, they place it, it sits there, it collects dust, it's retail for the retailer, and it's like, I'm losing money. That it's not, what's the pull through? And a lot of brands don't have that strategy. So when Noe and I, we were starting this company, at first we're like, okay, we're going to do what we do. But with emerging brands, it's different. With all these brands that have names, they just pull. That's easy, right? If we represented a brand that just had the name, our job is a little bit easier. But we're starting from scratch, building it from ground up, which takes a lot of grit, a lot of fortitude, a lot of patience. And I tell all these brands, like, we are the punching bag, because there's stuff that buyers will tell us that they probably won't tell you.
Right.
So we have to navigate through that and kind of put in a better game plan. That way it's a pull through for these buyers. The point of a company is to solve problems. You have to have solutions. And if I bring a bottle to that retailer, it's a problem. Nobody knows the name. it has no presence. So we have to figure out
what sets it apart.
What sets it apart, so we have to make sure our pricing's right and a strategy of like, okay, here I'm placing this, but I'm also going to do a tasting. We have an NVU ambassador coming in. I got to get the liquid to lips. There's a lot of things that we do, and it's crazy because when Noe and I the other day were like, oh man, we just do a lot. But it might seem smooth for our brands because they don't see a lot of the back end stuff like that.
Do you guys ever do like tastings?
So yeah, we just started an NVU ambassador program where we are hand trained. We're not a demo or promo company, but we are hand training certain leaders in each market to learn how to sell each brand, how to captivate somebody when they're coming in for a retail tasting, those types of things. So we do offer that. I mean, we go in, Noe and I will sell the cases in, and then be like, okay, well, let's schedule a tasting so we can start getting this out there. We've also started doing like social media to where on some of our top accounts, we're like, okay, we're going to bring our media guy and we're going to start shooting and doing ads and things like that. So we're thinking beyond it. And if you look at right now, there's not a lot of brokers that think like that, which is good and not good. I think eventually they will, but we have to figure out how to, with these new brands, how do we pull it through and how do we start building up some momentum so people are buying it and pulling it off the shelf?
Right.
Yeah, and we don't take pivots lightly. We take it very seriously. So when a brand has a marketing plan, a sales strategy, and the guys at Horseneck, when they came out, the RTDs were the first lead. That's you guys met that, and the bourbons came later. Well, the feedback we got from the market was challenging. It was a very challenging market. COVID was over. Seltzers were hot. And brown spirit RTDs, or in that section, or if Jack and Jim and Jameson were struggling to get pool, and they're at a certain price point, and you're a couple of bucks higher, regardless of how great it is, which we think it's a great product, it doesn't matter. This market is going to say what they're saying.
Yep.
So that's where we came back and did a pivot, and after 6 months, collecting all the data, and then the same thing kind of happened with the bourbons. It's very good juice. The pricing, we had to kind of work on that. And so now we've restructured both of their pricings. And then just the 30 days of really bringing it to market, you can see an instant difference.
Yeah.
So we take our time in getting the pivot, but that's what we do. As far as sales strategy, we don't really take control of their marketing strategy. That's their team, but we do that as just being a part of our company.
So is it generally, like you said, it's so saturated, it's so competitive. If you know they've got juice that will compete, right? And if they don't have a juice that won't compete, it doesn't matter what the price point is, right? We all know that.
100%.
Have you had to break some bad news to the folks before that says that's inside the bottle is not resonating with people?
Meaning the price point's not going to help.
Well, yeah. It's not good stuff.
So, and part of this process was learning that you have to communicate that. And we do business the right way. We have a very strict core value, core ethics. So now we taste the juice, look at the pricing, look at the strategy, and then come determine how we're going to approach it. But we've had to part ways with the brands because it just wasn't either going to work or other reasons. But yes, we've had to have, and they're not comfortable. Everyone thinks their baby's the prettiest.
Right.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So
it's a tough conversation.
It is, but
you're about being real. I mean, you're not going to sell them something that is not going to succeed.
We could easily take their money for 6 months, a year, and we're trying, we're getting this, we're getting that.
It's ethics, personal ethics in business and everything.
I like that.
So.
Well, I mean, it's our ethical responsibility to put prerequisites on brands. So we get emails from brands all the time of like, oh, I got your number. Can you? And so we have a questionnaire and let's talk about it. We always give everybody one Zoom call and we look at like what they have and we ask them a couple questions. And if there's some that they're just like, they're not ready for us yet. But we do give them a little bit of constructive, it's not even criticism, but just steps of like, hey, you might want to start here or look at doing this or look at doing that. Because again, like what Noe said, we could easily be like, okay, here's the fee, here's everything that you do. And then like, we're really not going to be successful out there. But we just don't do that. We're not built like that. Integrity is a huge thing for our company. So, but it is that ethical responsibility for any company to put prerequisites on people before they say yes to something.
Right. So is it just the two of you?
That's it.
For right now. I mean,
Yeah.
we do have a CFO, and she helps us with all our financing, but we're starting to build up this NVU ambassador team. That's a 1099 position for right now. We look, on business-wise, we're very savvy when it comes to our money now. Before year one, it was wild, wild west. We were doing whatever. We're just like, learning it. But again, we want to make sure that we're financially stable and everything for people to start hiring right now. Plus, once we hire, we also have to raise up everything for all of our brands. So we want to make sure that we're getting enough volume for our brands first before we can go be like, hey, I got to hire somebody in Dallas. I got to hire somebody in San Antonio. I got to hire. So we're looking all that. And of course, we want to scale. This thing is going to take off. We're going to be NVU Group pretty soon, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
And because we're out in the market, you see it's not the right time to add employees.
Right.
And we have to be very aware. And you're just kind of looking at everything that's going on, rate of sale, rate of turn, just kind of the whole thing. And we had an employee for a few months, and we parted ways, but that's when it gave us a true reality of what the costs, the taxes, and everything that went involved with that. So
there's a lot to it.
What kind of got into, I mean, you've touched on it a couple times, is the state of the business right now. Because I've read some stuff, the guys have read some stuff just in general across the nation, that the whole whiskey, bourbon industry is really softening at the moment. What are you seeing out there? You're probably much more involved. And we've seen the glut of brands up there. Every time you go into Total Wine or Specs, you see something new.
Right.
And that's still, and I understand that, hey, it takes time to make this stuff. So 4 years ago, that bourbon was, at the top of the world. Now that they're releasing it, it's not exactly the top of the world. It's starting to come back down. Are you seeing a lot of the brands starting to disappear, really reduce in pricing? And what are you kind of getting from others in the industry as far as how it's going?
When I see display stacks of Buffalo Trace and Weller,
right,
and $29.99, $30.99, I know that everyone else is going to have a challenge. All the little small developing up and coming brands have got to realize what they're up against, what consumers are buying. And right now, consumers are conservative. You really got to grab their attention and put the liquid in front of them, give them a good price and a good option. And that's why we like the Horse Neck, the 101, the Sherry. Those are now with this new pricing strategy, someone will take that risk. 3 months ago, it was tough. It was very, very tough. So because when COVID and everyone put all those probably hundreds of thousands of barrels to sit, well, they're all ready. It's 2025, almost 2026. So there's a lot of juice, and people are drinking less than ever before. So that's another faction that you're looking at.
That's a new cultural trend.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Well,
what's wrong with these people?
You have a lot of things. The weight loss drug, the Ozempics, the GLPs, you don't want to drink as much anymore. People are being more health conscious, which I'm all for too as well. You have the new generation that are drinking THC or smoking. Like there's
alternatives.
There's a couple of other things that people are using to get their kicks, so their fix.
Yeah, that is huge. I mean, I don't subscribe to that, but it's a huge growing market. When Governor Abbott did not veto that and they allowed it to push it through, the Total Wine here in Plano, Texas, they have a aisle that they were just like, that is probably the largest revenue that they're taking in the entire store. That is crazy.
And these are THC drinks.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, you're seeing the THC drinks. You're seeing more aisles with non-alcoholics. So people are, I mean, even Noe and I, throughout the year, we'll go maybe a few months and we're like, hey, we're not drinking.
Hold on. Who brought the non-alcoholic beer and put it in my refrigerator?
Wasn't me. I wasn't there.
All right. I don't know. I woke up the next morning after our Halloween party and there was a fucking 12-pack. It wasn't even opened. You could tell it was an accident. I don't know if they're fucking with me or what was going on with that, but I just
had it Stan.
No, I don't know who it was, but that was just
that would break the code. I would never do that.
Anyways, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, but I mean, what kind of was it? Because with beer, they're making them like taste like the real thing sometimes. So
tasted like a hint. I had to open one. I was kind of like, well,
if you drink all of them, you may get a buzz. There's like a 0.1 in there.
I drink all
takes
of
the whole
it.
case.
It makes so
7 in the morning, you grabbed another one. Okay, yeah.
No.
Well, you can. It's non-alcohol. You can have one right
Well, that's why he was pissed off. It's like, the only thing in here is non-alcoholic.
Stop.
You can have it with your eggs and toast and bacon.
Right.
No, it did not taste very good though. I didn't enjoy it. It's got a little hint of
They are getting better,
orange,
though.
but
Yeah, they're getting better. I mean, O'Doul's is not the go-to anymore. I mean, Heineken has one, Corona has one, but look, everything is trends. It's trends. Tequila's hot right now, and agave spirit's hot right now. So it's always
love tequila.
I mean, if one goes up, something will come down.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But trends are like roller coasters. They come, they go, they come, they go. But what never dies, and what brands or any companies, they need to start branding. Because if they start telling their story more, if they start branding, people love to be part of a culture. They love to be part of a brand. They want to be part of that. So what separates a lot of these brands is like, start telling that story constantly. When we first started our company, and this is what I see a lot of people that do what we do, they market the brands, just the brands that they represent, but they never market their company. And from the very beginning, we have to always NVU, because brands will come and go, but NVU is always going to stay here.
Right.
And now that name is like, people in the industry are like, oh, I know what NVU is. I know. And that is like something that will make you money eventually. If you're not branding right now on any of your social medias, or you're getting your name out there, you are wasting space right now. And there's a lot of missed opportunity. You have to brand as much as you can and get that story out there.
Right.
So we need to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But going back to your question, we have not slowed down on the amount of phone calls and emails of businesses who want to partner.
Are you seeing it in the whiskey lane, or the vodkas, the tequilas?
Whiskeys, tequilas, and a lot of mezcal.
A lot of mezcals.
Mezcal, really?
A lot.
Which I love. I love mezcal.
I mean, I would think you guys stand to benefit from a stall in the market, because they need your help. Like, they're thinking they can do it on their own. They think they have everything they need, and then they're like, this isn't working. We need people like you.
If we do what we've done, we'll get what we have. And people are realizing that what they're doing is not working.
Right.
And so now they're having to think creatively.
Right.
Probably get on camera or talk on a video before, that they never would have done that before. And this, like, for example, like this partnership with Tito's and Lalo. That was a very big deal in our industry. So everyone wants to be now that next brand that does that. So now I think people are getting more social media savvy, more podcast savvy, or more creative. They're being forced to.
Right.
So if someone wants to order one of your brands that you sponsor, do they have to go through you? Like, no, you guys.
No, I mean, they have to buy it either at the liquor store or at a bar or a restaurant.
I meant like the liquor store. Like, let's say,
if they want to partner with us.
So we're not a distributor. Yeah.
You're not, but I mean,
So the way that Texas
frame that right.
Yeah.
So we work closely with. So let's just take Horseneck for example. Horseneck makes the product. They sell it to the distributor. The distributor then sells it to a retail store. That's how they can get that product.
Right.
That retail store, if they're considered a wholesaler or a Class B, they can sell it to the bars and restaurants. So what we do is we work and this is also a very painstaking process of managing or communicating with the distributor. And a lot of brands don't realize that is a huge headache on its own.
So do you go to like Benny Keith and these distributors?
Benny Keith is a distributor. With our brands right now, they're all three of them are with 3 different distributors.
Yeah, but you have to go to them, right? Is that right?
We are forming partnerships with them, because Noe and I are just 2 people. But the more people that we can influence, the more people that are going to be out there selling our brand. Or the more people that are going to be, even if we're influencing somebody's listening to this podcast, they're like, oh, I want to go and pick up a bottle of Live Oak vodka or Horseneck bourbon or Swift single malt whiskey. So there, things like that help. But ultimately, when we try to really partner with a distributor, we're trying to get the sales team on board, the management on board. But Noe and I are not delusional either. There's a lot of shift in the industry. So we know that their distributors are oversaturated with brands. So we have to we can't just sit in our desk and be like, bark orders at them. We have to be out there selling. We have to be out there doing it ourselves. We have to be. We never stop doing it. We've always been a company or a people that, we'll never forget about you, but we don't wait on you. And we have to go out and make things happen. Especially, again, we're a new company. A lot of our brands that we represent, exception of one who's been around for a while, nobody's going to talk about your brands but you. So you have to be out there. You have to. It's a constant fight to be out there doing that day in and day out.
So not only are you kind of guiding the distilleries through the process, end-to-end process, but you're also out there being their advocate and using your connection and your influence to get their name out in front of somebody else's.
Combined, there's 40 years here. Yeah. And so we use that to our advantage. We use that to influence high up on the distributor, sales, management, everybody.
Or even buyers too. I mean, key independent retail accounts, bars, restaurants, chains. That's a lot of relationships that we've built over the years. Now, we're also, because we have those relationships, it's not always a shoe-in because they're like, well, come back when you have this, and that.
Yeah, sure.
So, and again, we get kicked down a lot, as far as like, oh, your brands are not big enough. But one thing that brands, they probably do or don't know, we have so much fight. If you ever want somebody in your corner, it's NVU. Because even if somebody tells me no, it fuels me. And I'm like, all right, I'll come back, watch. Because when somebody slams a door in my face or whatever, then I'm just going to go and do it myself and prove everybody wrong. That's just how I'm built. Nice. But so that's another thing that you don't really see in a lot of, maybe people that are representing your brands or whatever. Like, they're kind of like, okay, whatever. They said no. Well, whatever. No, I'm going to make sure I'm going to come back.
Kind of reminds me of the Chris Farley movie in
Tommy Boy?
Yeah, Tommy Boy. And David Spade and he are trying to sell brakes. And
brake
they're
pads.
like, we don't want it. His Chris Farley's like, oh, okay. And they just walk out the door and David Spade's like, whoa, pump the brakes here, man. You gotta have some sort of rigidity. Gotta get back in there and fight for it.
For sure. Yeah. All right, so how good is your golf game? That's not part of your strategy?
0.
No, but I've always
but
told
it's on the list.
I want to learn golf because the best business is done on golf courses.
That was the point I was making. I figured you guys were traveling and golfing, and
especially as a woman, like I don't really see. I don't know. You tell me. I'm not. But
you better hit the driving range like 100 times.
I'll do it.
That should be part of it because I wouldn't even focus on playing golf. I would just go to the driving range, get that muscle memory going, and then because after you get the muscle memory, then it's a game.
Yeah,
because otherwise you start off the first hole, and by the time you get to the 18th hole, you're broken.
Yeah,
you have no idea which ends up.
Yeah.
But you guys already know this, but executives, directors, senior people will never turn down a free game of golf. Ever.
And I think that's definitely coming
so
in year
that
3,
should be part of your strategy.
Year 4, yeah.
That and some deep sea fishing.
Deep sea fishing.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you what executives and VPs and CIOs and these guys, they will never turn down. That's where they will do their
deep lake, like up on Texoma.
You guys travel everywhere.
They do travel a lot.
Let's talk about that. So you do maybe not international, mostly continental United States. Where's your travel?
Well, right now everything's just Texas.
Okay.
So we're a little bit, from this aspect, we're a little bit old school. We believe in doing business in person. So we are very much, we'll come and we'll sit in front of you. We strategically plan meetings, presentations. We have a shitload of meetings tomorrow around that. And the idea is if you're going to do business with us, you're going to meet us. And we're going to be here and we're going to come and do events with you and be part of your business, regardless of how many miles my truck has just got out of the shop. But I bought it with 3 miles and it's been 5 years and it's got 343,000 miles on it. And it's mostly just because from that aspect, we're very much old school.
Very nice.
So we get that extended warranty?
It's gone.
well, hold on. What kind of truck is it? That matters here. Oh, boy.
It's not an EV, is it?
It's not a Honda.
I will always be indebted to Ford.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I have
That's
a Bronco.
what I have. I have a Ford.
I got a Bronco. So
we're
loving Ford right now.
After Hurricane Harvey, they did us very well, and I will always be a Ford person.
Yeah, my Ford is broken right now.
Really?
I have to have it towed, yeah.
What?
I think it's the fuel pump.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Get on YouTube and figure it out.
13.
13.
Yeah. I already swatched the fuse out because they said, well, the fuse is really problematic with that range. So I went out and got a new fuse, popped it in. Still the problem. The starter goes, it tries to start, but the edge doesn't turn over. Mm-hmm. So it's not getting the fuel or the spark or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's tough.
Just to replace
But
the
a
whole
kick in
thing.
the butt.
Yeah.
That's just minor things like that. And you guys being on the road all the time, that stuff cannot happen. You've got to have your shit working.
We do.
Now, are you together all the time, or do you divide and conquer?
Divide and conquer. Important meetings, we're together. Or podcasts, we're always together. And we've learned that we have our roles. And so Victoria has her side of the building, I have my side of the building, and we stay in each other's lanes. And every now and then we'll cross over, but for the most part now, like I said, big distributor meetings, chain meetings, we'll always do those together.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. That's great. You guys have a great rapport with each other. You have great, based on what I've seen, the relationship between you two is dynamic. I mean, it's so important for what you guys are doing, and the fact that you can lean on each other. And you're an emotional guy, and and you're a dominant woman. It's
so you've watched the
was
videos.
that noticed?
I've seen it. I've read about you guys.
Wait,
I watched a
hold on.
bunch.
What now? I didn't watch the same video. What are we talking about here?
Well, my point is that you've got a great chemistry. I mean, you've got obviously a great relationship, and because look, the rule of thumb is don't go into business with family because it'll destroy you. And I think that you guys have these guardrails up where you stay in your own lane and you allow each other to do their job, and then you got to hold each other accountable, which is also excellent. I admire that. I applaud you guys for doing it, and I'm excited. I was super excited waiting for you guys to get on the podcast so we can have these conversations.
Did you go into business with Tara?
My wife and I don't have that type of relationship.
What about you and Shelly? Could you go into business?
No. And on advice of counsel, I declined any further answers.
Yeah, my wife and I owned a business for a short time, and it worked out. She ran it. I filled in when she wanted time off, basically. So she basically did the thing, and the storefront, and I would relieve her. So it worked out. She ran everything, though, so it worked.
I mean, everybody's got different strengths, man. Everybody's got comfortable with doing different things. You got to leverage the strengths of each of you, right? You're two very different people, I would imagine.
Yeah, we are, and we recognize that, and we're not trying to compete with each other. And Noe is. If you're producing a movie, this is the best way I can describe it. He's like the producer. He puts a lot of stuff together. He keeps everything in motion. He's very, very calm on certain things. And I'm kind of like the CEO of the movie studio, where it's like a bunch of vision, a bunch of passion, heart, but I can also talk some major shit and get like, this has to be done.
Right.
And we have to get it done this way. And it works out like that. And Noe, it may be on the not necessarily on the softer side, but he's just very calm on that, and I'm more of the aggressor.
Good cop, bad cop kind of a thing, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I just grew up like that, and I've always been like that. We talked about this the other day. I have a lot of masculine energy from what I was told, but I'll tell you this: when you are a strong woman,
I don't like the way you word that.
I do, but
you're making us feel very small, right?
But in a very good way, because look, strong women need somebody like Noe, because there's times where I have so much energy. I do need somebody to hold me. I need somebody to be like, okay, it's good. We're good. You don't have to go and kill everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
he's on retainer.
But I think sometimes business is war and life is the same way, and so it's like you need somebody to like, man, that person that has your back, and that's why Noe and I have always worked out very well in that, and we never say like when people are like, oh, who runs the business? I'm like, we both really do, because if I'm not here, I don't know how Noe would, and if Noe's not here, I don't know how I would do it. So we complement each other, and we do stay in our lanes. It's like, hey, you take care of that, you take it. There's no like, I guess in a little bit there is some ego that we're trying to figure out, but then we're like, wait a minute. The main mission is for the business to move forward. It's all about the business. Sometimes we have a hard time of separating wife and business partner a little bit because we're so business orientated that we're like, oh shit, have we like said I love you today? Have we gone on a date? Like, fuck, have we done anything where we're just kind of just me and you? A
lot of times, you said you guys travel separately a lot?
We travel a lot together, but sometimes when the calendar is very hectic, we have to separate and like, hey, you got to stay in this market, I'll stay in this market, or we're in the same market.
But how long are you guys like away from each other? 2-3 days at the most?
At the most 3 days.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair. And frankly, be honest, I mean, those are healthy.
They are.
Yeah, those are healthy.
But you're going over your analytics. That's mainly your pillow talk. Like you're going over the numbers and the volumes.
You know what's really helped us recently is cigars. We have our cigar nights now.
Oh, nice.
And that is husband-wife. That is it.
Yeah, there's no business talk.
Well, we avoid it.
It's hard. I mean, look.
It'll come up.
I can't. There is no balancing. There. I mean, when you are building a business, there's no balance to like, oh, my regular life and this.
It blurs.
It's part of my life. Yeah,
it blurs everywhere.
Business is part of our life. So when we are there smoking cigars, drinking whiskey or bourbons or whatever we're doing, we're vision casting. We're like, oh shoot, we should do this. This is where we should go. This is what we should do. Like, oh, what if we pivot and do this, or what if we suggest this? So it's never. We can. I can't even imagine. I don't even know one conversation where we have not ever talked business or talk something, which is also a good write-off if I'm talking business.
There we go. Yes. There we go.
You know, we the podcast guys, I mean, we have gone out and smoked cigars. It's not our thing. Every now and then I kind of like them once in a while. You know, I used to have really bad stomach issues, and so I stopped doing it. But lately, that hasn't happened, and I have a lot of friends that smoke them. So I found myself kind of like taking a puff here and there, talking about cigars, listeners, and you know, and I like doing the smaller, lighter ones. The darker ones are kind of heavy on me. But look, I want to take an opportunity right now to let's dive into what we're drinking tonight.
Yep, can you do that?
Yeah,
I'm done with mine.
Yeah, well, here we got to finish this bottle, and then the rest of it's going into the infinity bottle. So for those listeners out there, and even NVU brands, did you just slam that?
It was half full.
Lord. So, anyways, we have an infinity bottle. I don't know if you guys noticed on the table when you were walking in there. There's a large gallon sitting there. We've got. I mentioned to you on the phone call. It's over 80 bottles in there. It's a ridiculous amount. So what we'll do is we'll dump the remainder of that in there. We'll make a notation of exactly what it is, and during the halftime we'll give you guys a bounce on that. But what we got today is this is Cooperstown Select. It's handcrafted in New York. It's a 4-grain mash.
Is this a store pick? Where's the little sticker up there on the top?
You know what? This is pathetic because I have such bad eyesight that has gone bad.
All right, so the mash bill is corn, rye, malted barley from a local farm, and the fourth grain
something about Bible
is oats. I don't think we have
oats like
many
oatmeal?
with oats. Huh. That's a
this
rare fourth grain.
Is this the same bottle?
Cooperstown
Select.
Is this 100 proof?
It sure is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this one I think we got. Frankly, I thought we got. This is one of our original ones because when we first started acquiring all these bourbon bottles, we were like going to. Friday night would be our excursion. We go to Total Wine, Liquor King, Specs, and we kind of shop around and pick up a $30, $40, $50 bottle.
Each of us would buy.
We would each buy it.
Yeah,
and we started
to start building up our collection, right?
Yeah,
and we did it. And then we started like, hey, man, we
Hey, Paul keeps buying these bad ones.
Yeah, of course.
That's not how it went down.
We started diving into like we gravitated towards the wheat ones because there's a process when most people won't just dive in head first and start. Hey, I like rye. You know, usually it's a softer, easier to drink one, which are the wheat ones, and that's what we kind of started getting, like 9 Banded, Maker's Mark, which I don't really.
Right.
That's like one of the original Wellers, I guess. But
Wellers. But then we started noticing that the more we started tasting them and sampling them, we started enjoying the more higher proofs and the ryes and the 4 grains. The single barrels are just terrific. And then, we
also started noticing that the price point
was working its way up.
Drifting its way up. And it was, I can't believe it, but it was better.
Yeah.
Generally.
And that's okay too, because what we ended up doing then is, the producer, Chuck, my son used to be the producer for several years. And now that Chuck's here and he's drinking the bourbon, we're like, well, fuck, now we can split it 4 ways.
That's right.
So now.
Thank God for Chuck.
Yeah, thank God. So now we could drop $100, $150, $200, $300 on a bottle. I mean, it's,
not easy.
Oh, come on. I mean, we
just kept going up.
We're not making any money going up.
Yeah,
all we're doing is spending money. As a matter of fact, we need to talk to you guys about how we can make money.
But we do buy them, is my point, and we just enjoy them. And anyway, so that's kind of how this whole thing started happening, and how our collection started growing. It's been fun.
I like that. So you guys really didn't know too much about bourbon?
We don't really know anything
Nothing.
about bourbon.
I love that
No, we
because
just started shooting from the hip.
that is the best thing. You're not, there's no bias. You're just like, okay, well, this looks good. So let me try this. And I think that's
exactly
the best way to try to explore new things. I mean, you have a lot of snobs, I guess.
We've turned into snobs.
We're trying not to.
Come back to your humble beginnings because look, I mean, you got it in every category: wine, bourbons, whiskeys, tequilas, and all I say is like, man, if for anybody, if it tastes good to you, drink it.
Exactly
it's your money.
Yes.
Like I had when I was bartending, I had a regular that would come in all the time. And he had a lot of money, and Ciroc vodka was his thing, right, with one ice. But then he's like, oh well, what's that Louis Tray? Let's get some of that. Let's get shots of that. And what is it like? $30. This was back then.
Yeah, it was probably 50.
50 a shot.
50.
Is that like cognac?
Yeah. Oh, Louis Tray. Yeah, it's very luxury brand. And he's like, well, let's just get shots and shoot it. Like, and I think, it's your money. Right. I mean, and to some people, that's faux pas. You're supposed to enjoy it and everything.
That's right.
And then he's like, put Coke in it. Like, the things like that.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's one of those things.
Remy Martin and Coke, that kind of drove me crazy. I was like, why are you guys taking such a fantastic whiskey and killing it?
Hey, but at the same time, it's their money. Let them do what they want to do, and they're spending it.
And it's their taste.
And I'm telling you right now, the company does not care. They're selling it. They're selling it. But my point is that you guys are open to trying it, and I've always thought that, like, I'll always remember this, especially in the wine industry. There's a lot of people that think they know wines. They're not sommeliers, they're not winemakers, but they're, really into the wines. And the people that are the least judgmental, because I've met a lot of winemakers, they're just like, man, what do you like? Like, oh, you like that? Great. Like, they're so casual about it, but you meet somebody that's more of like the uppity up, oh, you're drinking that? Oh my God. I'm like, man.
You can't drink that chilled. My God.
Yeah.
My God, what are you doing?
Or just like the brand name, or you can't, no.
We agree with that. It's, to each their own. I mean, we all have developed our own thing that we like to drink most. I mean, Paul has a unique. No, this isn't a slam. You like a specific type of whiskey. That's kind of like a life cereal kind of taste. You like that?
Oh, you're talking about the heavily weeded one.
Yeah, just like
heavily. It tastes like bread.
Yeah,
I loved it. You guys were like,
that's my point. Is that we all kind of like, because what we're going to do is this is the Cooperstown Select. So I forget exactly what we're doing. This is a bottle and bond. It's 100 proof.
That's not bottle and bond.
Well, it's 100 proof. I thought I saw bottle and bond. I guess not. So it says here. I was going to read this, but
it's interesting that it has oats in it. I think this is our one and only with an oats.
I'm not a huge fan of this, honestly. I'll just tell you right now. This is, I would not replace this, depending on the price point. If it's $30-$40, maybe, but I'm not going to go out of my way. The black tea, I could definitely taste the black tea, because that's what that resonates afterwards when you're done with it. Initially you get the sweetness, the butterscotch,
brown sugar.
Yeah, but then you got this little punch that just kind of like carries through, like you would hope a white pepper would do. But this one is the black tea.
It's a little harsh finish.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
I'm not a huge fan of that.
Yeah, so I know my first pour on this, I tasted a lot of that yeasty cereal flavor for me. Yeah. Now that it's been in my glass a while, I don't pick that up anymore. But that first pull outside, I definitely picked it up, and I didn't like it at all. So I let it sit. Then you saw how fast I drank it, but it was, it got better for me.
It's very easy to drink.
Yes.
It's very easy. It's, I mean, I wouldn't kick it out of bed. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't go to the store and order it.
What are your thoughts?
I'm probably the wrong person. I haven't tasted a ton.
Are you kidding me? She could be going to work for these folks, and you want her to put her job on the line.
As a matter of fact, they just sent them an email like last night.
I mean, look, it's not the worst thing I've ever had in my mouth. So I'm like, it's not bad. It's really not bad. It's just, I think it's drinkable, and I just haven't. I can't really compare it to other stuff. You guys have drinking a lot more than I have in that category. But for me, it's not something like, I don't think it's like spit out in my mouth. I think, I'm sipping it, so I think that's good.
Right.
But for somebody who isn't as savvy in that category, I think it's good. And it's approachable.
Well, Noe report. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's that cereal taste, that note, and it doesn't bother me as much. So I personally, I don't know if this is faux pas or not, but I would put a cube and see where it took me. But outside of that, it was okay.
Sean likes spit in his.
Gross.
So let's clarify.
What?
Let's clarify.
That's what he said.
Let's clarify. So when he's saying that, I'm not saying like some people will take a what is a pipette,
Little
and
dropper.
They'll take they'll get some distilled water and they'll drop it in there. And me, I don't like to do that.
He goes.
That's not true. That's fake news.
Oh,
but
Let's never mix up glasses.
But what I like to do is I like to take it and I like to swish it in my mouth for an extended period and let it dilute a little bit and get into the system. And eventually it will get to where I'd like it. And if it doesn't, then God bless it.
You don't spit it back out. You swallow it.
I do not. There's no regurgitation involved in this.
He's gargled a few times.
I've never, but that was by accident because it went down the wrong pipe.
Wow.
All right. I was teary eyed and everything. You guys saw that.
A few times. Yes.
Very painful. But look, as far as rating this thing, I'm gonna have to give this. And look, I feel bad because this is worse than Eagle Rare, and I gave Eagle Rare a poor,
pretty harsh
score. Eagle Rare is like way better than this.
So you're like a 2 or a 3.
I gave Eagle Rare, I think, a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10, and it look. Whatever. For what it is, I just gave it. These guys disagree with me, strongly disagree with me.
You gave it a 5, so basically.
I upped it. Okay. So it was 3.8, then I upped it to 5.
We shamed him to the point where he gave it an even 5.
No, look, in all fairness, it struck me off on a bad day. I don't know. Everyone's palate's changed.
You should put Amberana in it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, have you guys ever experimented to put an Amberana staves?
No.
Are you familiar with?
No.
Okay.
So have you heard of RD1 Spirits? You've heard of what's Big Mike, Big Stick?
Big Stick.
Yeah.
No, Big Mike. He doesn't use Amberana.
Right. He does not. But I mean, it's the process.
The stave concept.
It's the stave concept that goes in. Like Oak and Eden puts a lot of staves in their stuff. But RD1 Spirits does it in the barrel. But you can buy Amberana Lasso also makes one with Amberana in it. So you can go to order it on Amazon for those folks that are listening. You can buy a couple sticks of the Amberana staves. It comes in 2 sticks. It's like $20 for 2 staves. Each stave does about 3 gallons. You just chip off a few chunks of it, drop it into a big bottle, and let it sit. It's
a surprising impact.
It really is. You could take a mediocre, you could take a Green Label Weller's or a 101 Wild Turkey.
I put it in Jim Beam.
Yeah, and you just add it on there, and it is this thing comes from Mexico. It's a furniture wood. Who would have thought? And it's got such a cinnamon. Nestle Toast Crunch kind of impact on it, right. And it's shocking the hell out of me. And so now we're kind of experimenting. We buy the big bottles, the 1.5s, and we're adding it to it and just let it sit for a week or 2.
I got the old Granddad 114 out there with it sitting in there.
If you want to take a little small sample, you're welcome to. You take a big sample.
We had it last week.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. I'm gonna rank this. Look, this is not going to be a high score. So I'm sorry for those folks out of Cooperstown. Select from New York to Fort Grain. Look, I'm going to give this a 4. I'm going to give it a 4.
4.
A 4. Right. I'm not too. That's just that's what I want.
One of the challenges we have when we compare these, we've had so many now at so many different price points that we look at this price point, we look at that proof, and we're like, man, there's so many other ones we would do rather than this one.
Yeah,
so
at 100 proof,
and then it ends up kind of pushing their score down, right? But I would probably go with the 4.8.
Yeah, I was right at 5 on this. I think I liked it a little bit better than you guys. Outside of that very first pool out there, it calmed down for me. But the finish is harsh.
Yeah, it's got that lingering black tea kind of.
But you know what we always say? Every single time we finish with what we consider a harsh review.
Can I have another one?
No, well, that too. Right. But if we were sitting around a fire and somebody, a guest or a friend, brought over this bottle, we'd be like, hey, probably not the best we've had, but hey, pretty good, man. You know what I mean? Right. We would all enjoy it. None of us would spit it out. Well, I mean, Sean would spit it out.
This is sweet.
Drink it again.
It tastes very sweet. It's got a very sweet taste to it.
I think the best indicator, if nobody was around, are you going to be pulling that bottle from your shelf to have it for yourself?
That is a great
What's the bottle that you're always gravitating to?
Yeah, what's your go-to? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's a great point.
Mine's early times, Bottle and Bond recently.
That's a good one.
I'm all over the place. I'm a little bit more pompous. I like Frey Ranch. I'm really gravitating towards the Frey Ranch. I wish it were free. God bless. And plus that Weller's the green label. With the Amberana, I'm telling you, I'm tripping out on that. I'm all over the place though.
My go-to is the 1845 4-grain.
I got to tell you, the 1840 4-grain 1845.
Yeah.
Have you guys talked to these folks out in Lowry Crossing?
I sent them a couple of emails, and I actually got one of their bottles at the event. I think it is the 4-grain, or it was good. It was
so they have two tiers of their alcohol. They sell the 100 proof across the board of all their products, and then they have the barrel proof, right? The 116, 114. So we gravitate to the higher proof stuff. It's simply richer. That's what we're finding. But I understand that the typical market consumer.
Is it the 100?
It overwhelms
90?
them.
Yeah.
It overwhelms them, and that's why the 100, 90, and 80 proof.
Yeah, but these guys
are the go-tos.
Have a fantastic product.
They really do,
and they're great people. And you're into great people. They're Texas, and they have a great story. Nice. I'd love to introduce you to them. Sure. I know you spent some emails out, and I know we all know the owners. Bob and June Pettit. And their son Bob, I'm sorry, God bless it. What's his son's name?
Ben.
Ben, and the distiller on the right, Miguel Perez,
Christian and Bell,
and they also have a winery out there. They're a great crew.
Yeah, they're great people.
Nice.
Anyway,
now they're great. We buy all their stuff. I have all their bottles.
They're having lots.
Daria Noe, do you want to chip in with a rating, or do you want to defer?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to chip in with the rating, but I do have my go-to right now.
Okay, yeah. What's your go-to?
The Lasso, the cigarette blend.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that's
cigarette blend.
No, it's cigarette.
Oh, it's cigarette blend.
That's a Dallas.
I think
whiskey,
they do. I think you're right. It is
so.
cigarette blend.
What's
yeah, you do.
Do you mind pulling that up for us? Jeff?
Every time I'm making a drink or
Yeah.
I'm just having it neat, I'm just like, holy fuck, I love this.
I've seen it at Total Wine.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I'm familiar with it. Pull that up real quick. All right, so let's take a look.
Lasso, they're the kind of the square bottles.
Yeah,
The Darts cigarette blend.
Yeah.
There
you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
so
it.
Lasso-
That's the exact bottle you're talking about.
Yep.
Darts.
That's the one. Yeah.
They have an older bottle out there that's a little higher proof. I think I sent you guys that picture of me drinking at some dude's house that I had no idea who he was, and all of a sudden I just manifested there. I don't even know how I got there. I was just like, poof, I'm here. And then he starts passing all these drinks. I wish I could go through the phone and look, but I'm not. But he had like a 18-year Lasso.
Whoa.
It was off the freaking hook.
Well, I know that, and I'll bring up Liquor Library, but he turned us on to it, and we had a sample, and I was like, whoa. I rarely will buy bottles that are not our products.
Right.
And I was like, I'm taking this.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so what are the specs of the Lasso bottle? What's the proof?
Yeah, they have several expressions.
Yeah, the yellow label I think is the Amberana.
All right, so what's this one though? What's the proof on it? Oh, it's 100 proof.
Food pairings, beef and salty snacks.
Well, there you go. You had me at beef and salty snacks.
Yes.
I know it was
like hamburger or
sherry. They used 3 different barrel finishes.
Jerky.
Nice.
Yeah, Lasso puts out some proof. Are they MGP or do they distill their own?
I believe they're still MGP.
Yeah, they do it all down at some hotel in Dallas, don't they?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Some old hotel.
Good little following.
Hence the name. They got the right there, Lasso, the Amberana Cast Finish Motel.
Nice.
No
All right,
tell
how
motel.
much time do we have left? I want to ask one more question if I've got time.
Yeah, just roll it.
All right. Let's see. So you're new, not new to the business, but 2 years in. So far, what is the absolute coolest thing that you have been a part of yet? In terms of meeting people that you got excited about meeting, or some event that you were like, damn, this is amazing.
I'm never putting my keys in that basket again,
Right. That kind of party. Like what's the coolest thing you've seen so far?
I think there's a couple. We have one brand, Live Oak Vodka, that, as long as we've been in the industry, I've come into this industry where the brands have already made, right? They're already developed and we're representing them and but this one, we're all of our brands, well, especially this one, we're building it from the ground up.
Yeah.
And just seeing it grow and to being part of it when it first started and seeing the evolution of it has been amazing.
And it's like family.
It's just it's going to be a nonstop train. And then the other one is kind of funny. It's not really funny, but there's a event called Sandfest in Port Aransas, Texas. Have you guys ever been there in the beach town? It's
I've been there, but I haven't been to, what is it?
Sandfest? Sandfest, yeah. If you go on our page, on our NVU brands, there's a little video of us doing a recap on it. But Noe and I were involved with that for 10 years, and we had all of our, whatever brand we worked for at the time, we would be featured in the VIP tent. And then one of the biggest things that they take these big, all these artists come in and they're building these big sand sculptures. And in one of the entrances, they have all the brand sponsor names. And so normally it would always be the brand that we were representing, whatever it was, like Live Oak Vodka, or just, when Noe was with Absolute, that was on there. And this past year, NVU brands was on there. And it was so cool.
I
thought that was so cool. Yeah. So, I mean, but there's so many different things. I think it's just seeing something grow that just is like, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. And then seeing it finally getting some steam and rolling. And we want to see that with all of our brands. But that
when's
moment,
the next event?
Sandfest is next year around, I think when I said April.
The end of March, April.
But that one of our brands, we grew up in almost in Port A, very close in Corpus Christi. But again, when you finally see a brand just take that turn, I was like, okay.
And the feeling you have.
The feeling that we were a part of that.
You had a hand in making it happen.
Absolutely. So I think that's one of the coolest things. It's like, and then seeing our logo, even though he's wearing a NVU hat right now, just like the brands there, we're representing and we're doing some really big things. So that's always exciting.
And it makes it real.
That's real.
Well, we're so excited that you guys joined us tonight. I hope you're going to stay around for the second half. I don't know if you've got somewhere to be or you have an early morning tomorrow morning. Up to you guys.
NVU brands, check them out on Instagram, Facebook, nvubrands.com. Is that right?
That's correct.
It's been a great first half. I want you guys to stick around. Hopefully you will.
Give me some more whiskey or bourbon.
Well, we've got some samples.
We have a couple hundred out there.
We have a ton of topics on the board, and we can just talk. We can just shoot shit about what's going on in the world.
Second half will be a little bit different.
We're gonna we're gonna
pull some different strings.
Yeah, we'll just go with the flow like we normally do.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, it's the first half of the Dudes Like Us podcast. It's November 4th. Chuck, thank you for staying on top of shit. NVU brands, God bless it. Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
Victoria.
Noe.